It's a home away from home for families with seriously ill children, right? But it's a lot deeper than that. It goes a whole lot deeper than that.
To me personally, Ronald McDonald House shows how people can pull together. People in the medical field can pull together and do what they do. People that own restaurants can pull together and do what they do. And everybody can have a common goal of making life as easy as possible for families who are in bad times.
You know, I think Ronald McDonald House is an integral part of the community. They provide a home away from home for the parents of these ill children as they're being treated. It gives them a place to come and maybe reflect, get a little time to themselves, or maybe talk to parents of other children that are going through the same thing. And over time, we know that that helps in the healing process.
You know, the family rooms, the houses, they just provide a great environment where they feel hope, where they feel kindness, and where they can just relax and get out of the routine of the hospital. It becomes a very hard existence when you're dealing with tragic illnesses.
There's lots of evidence that health outcomes of sick children improve dramatically when their families are around them. And so enabling that extra kicker to help cure or ease the burden of a sick child is really a blessing to be able to participate in that.
Meeting the people and talking to these families that need such help with their children that are ill, it's a great joy to just service them. It's just a great joy to talk to them. Sometimes that's all they need is just someone to talk to. Because they're going to be safe in the Ronald House and comfortable, they just know that they've got lots of hope and lots of years to live with their children.
You know, whenever you hear from a family and how their stay here has impacted them, you just want to go do more. And so it's really just been so rewarding to be involved in an organization with great people that does great things, and where the people who use that service just have almost an unending level of thanks for what you've done to them.
One of the great things that we have at Ronald Charities is the great volunteers. And we have been able to get the people to open their pocketbooks and really donate this year. We've had a very successful year.
In 1981, my parents were the people that raised money and purchased the first house in St. Louis. So I was 7 years old at that time. My parents were president of CURE, which was Children's United Research Effort, and they formed with the Candlelighters organization to purchase the first house with 7 rooms. So at 7 years old, I remember scraping wallpaper off the old house, whatever I could do and my family could do to build the first Ronald McDonald House.
The donations and the money and the time and the effort of all the volunteers, it's pretty exciting for us every time we come here or every time we plan an event.
If there's no dinner groups that are volunteering, there's no dinner for the families. Filing, little things, big things happen because of the volunteers. It could not happen without volunteers.
My grandfather always told me, if you get problems, find somebody who has problems worse than yours. And let's face it, kids with medical needs have worse problems than we can ever have. This is an opportunity to help kids and their families who have special medical needs to get healthy. We take for granted in St. Louis that we have Corner Glennon, Children's Hospital, and Shriner Hospital, but we get people coming from as far as Russia, as far as California, as far as Texas to St. Louis because of the medical technology that we have. So it's like the coolest place on planet Earth for me.
I'm not sure that there are many charities that you see a cause and a reaction as quick as you see. When we come in the house and we see families that thank us for our tab-top participation, and you see smiling faces and people that say thank you, you actually see your donations work.
The hardest thing about the job is that you do get attached to some of these kids and some of them don't make it.
Personally, I think I would love to see the world without sick children. But that's not going to happen.
Sometimes you lose the children, and those are the ones that you really remember. And to get past that, I've learned that you just have to know that while they were suffering, while they were there, because you were there, you were able to give them comfort by offering them a place to take a warm shower or to have a cup of coffee or just someone to talk to.
It does show that there's a lot of people out there that really do care. And it really is important to let the people that, you know, have children that are sick and that to know that we care. There's people out there that do care, and it provides a sense of home away from home, and that's so important.
If they already know that they're sick, they don't need to be reminded they're sick.
So a lot of the times it's lending an ear to a family that just may need to talk or just, you know, come and relax while they're at the house.
One afternoon, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this mother comes into the family room at St. John's, and she says, "Colleen, I baked an apple pie for my son." And I said, "Wonderful." She says, "Can I keep it in the oven?" I said, "That'll be great." So the family room started to just fill up with this great apple pie fragrance. And all of a sudden, her other 2 children from school, they came in their uniforms. They all sat down at the table, and then she went and got her son in the wheelchair and brought him in. And as this young son who's fighting leukemia came into the family room, he said, "Mom, I smell apple pie." Well, it was so simple and beautiful, but it was just something that the whole family could share together while he was in the hospital. So they sat down, and after school, then we had milk, and we had a Coke, and somebody had a Sprite, somebody had an apple juice, and they ate apple pie. And they had a family moment in the family room at St. John's. It was really touching.
Volunteers come in here and cook meals, and there's always plenty of candy and cookies. I'm sure I'm going to gain 30 pounds while I'm here, but our daughter was born on April 14th, 2010, and when she came out, she was breathing very, very fast. And they said it was a common case of respiratory distress and being out of the hospital in 4 to 5 days. And 4 to 5 days later, she wasn't getting any better. Well, she ended up having a surfactant protein deficiency, which is an extremely rare genetic disease that affects the airways to the lungs. There is no cure. The only treatment is a lung transplant. So for 4 months, we waited for St. Louis, which is one of the only places in the country to do double lung transplants on infants, to accept her. And they jetted her out here about 4 weeks ago. So at this point, we are currently waiting for lungs. We're on the lung transplant list.
We relocated up here to the apartments on June 14th of this year, awaiting heart and 1 lung transplant. To be with her, to be with Natalie, it's priceless. I mean, I can't imagine not being able to stay with her.
When we found out what our baby was diagnosed with and knew that the only treatment was a double lung transplant, we did our research and found out that there had only been 80 babies ever in history who had had double lung transplants under the age of 1, and that there were really only a couple facilities in the country that had them, and St. Louis had done 50 of the 80. So when I found that out, I flew out here, and we were supposed to be here for about 6 months to try and figure out, hey, overnight we've got to relocate, from our home in Florida to St. Louis, and we're going to have to be here for a while. Where are we going to stay? So I flew up here, and I met with the social worker, and she let me know about the Ronald McDonald House.
It means a lot to me. I mean, I remember the first time walking down the hall of the Ronald McDonald House, and all I thought to myself is, I cannot believe I'm experiencing this. I never thought in my life I would have a sick child. And the Ronald McDonald House is a place for him to feel just like everybody else. We couldn't do it without the Ronald McDonald House.
We wouldn't be able to do it without the Ronald McDonald House.
We really had no choice. I mean, we're a family, and we're going to come here and stay with our family. But I mean, it's awesome just to have this place to stay and come to. I mean, or else we stayed in a hotel for a week and it cost us $1,000.
For her birthday, she got new lungs. So she turned her sweet 16 birthday here and got new lungs. That was the best birthday present anybody could get.
Better than a car. For me.
I've had the privilege of being part of an army of people who have overseen building 3 houses here in St. Louis, 3 family rooms. My favorite memory will always be the memories of the families in the house and the memories of working with so many dedicated volunteers and donors to bring this incredible resource to families. The memories are the people, both the families in the house.
You know, the best memory is when the families and those ill children who are now well come back and visit the house. To see them there, all healed, full of life, and happy, it just doesn't get any better than that.
Welcome, hello. I am so glad to see each and every one of you. My 300th house. You know, I remember 1974 in Philadelphia, this all started. Since then, houses throughout the country. In St. Louis, in 1981, we had our first house. And now the 300th house right here. 30,000 families a year are being helped out. We couldn't have done it without you. You truly are the best. Thank you for what you do. Your neighbors, your friends, your families all help out to make my house a home. Thank you, and have a magical good day.
I mean, everybody's been really helpful. You know, just everybody knows it's a tough situation and it's home away from home.
It's worth every minute of it. Every sacrifice we've had to make, she's worth it.
It's a wonderful experience. Very wonderful experience.